So I'm pretty much filming for YouTube. What's up, guys? Welcome to Everything Podcast, and then welcome also to all the live stream viewers on the Instagram. I'm excited to get started. Here, let me just set everything up. Let me see. And yeah, pretty much today's live stream or Everything Podcast episode. Here, let me double check. Let me pause this real quick. Yeah, so today's live stream episode, let me know if this sounds good or not. You guys hear a little sound in the back. That's gonna be the fan. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm gonna be looking up, just for everybody on YouTube watching, I'm gonna be looking up at the camera that is for our live stream, and we'll get started. Look, I was playing Clash of Clans earlier. Yeah, so pretty much today's episode or live is called 300 miles in 30 days. And I appreciate everybody that's been like supporting me and stuff like that. It's been a crazy journey for sure. Yesterday's run, so pretty much just like a little rundown of yesterday's run, which was the last day, day 30, and yeah, man, it was a tough run, not just because of like the location we were at. So when I started the run, pretty much, I calculate everything on Strava. If you guys don't have me on Strava, go ahead, check me out on Strava. Just Bats, BATZ. And dude, I did like the 3 mile warm up before, doing the 6 miles with the downtown running group. And then the Strava just freaking crashed on me. And it's been happening ever since I got the new phone. And it's like really annoying. Hold on, let me see. I'm just double checking, guys, that everything is working properly. Give me 1 sec. Here, let me see now. Is it working now? I think it's because I got the headphones in. So we should be good to go. But yeah, like I was saying, yesterday, the run was kind of harsh, just because, like I said, it didn't calculate the first 3 miles, and then the next 7 miles, I started to feel it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I started to feel it. But yeah, let me just put this right here. So yeah, let's get started on the episode. 300 miles in 30 days. So pretty much kind of give you guys a background of myself. I started running about 2 years ago. Nothing, crazy. I did run a little bit when I was in high school, but this was like 10 years prior. And yeah, man, it was one of those things where I did it in high school just because, it was sports, you're in high school, but that's about it. Hold on. Damn, I'm getting a little warm in here. But yeah, man, it was one of those things where it was cool, but no way, shape, or form that I take it seriously at all. And then kind of what happened. So let me tell you a little bit about the first time I did the 300 miles. So this is not the first time I'm doing 300 miles in 30 days. The first time I ever did 300 miles in 30 days was back in 2024. This was literally last year, and I was 280 pounds. I was about a 2X shirt, because I had like a year, no, like maybe 6 months with the running group. And yeah, man, so I was 280 pounds when I did the first time the 300 miles. When I did that, I remember those first 300 miles. The way I like to break it down, it's the first 10 miles of, the first 10 days, pretty much, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm getting hot. I chose the wrong shirt to do this fucking live. So, so pretty much the first 10 miles when I did the first 300, miles. This is back in last year, pretty much, when I was 280 pounds. Those first 10 miles, I went through runner's knee. If you guys don't know what runner's knee is, it's pretty much just imagine that you just fell to the floor right now on your knees and you hit the concrete super hard. That's what runner's knee is. You just feel this pain and like aching pain throughout every step you take, even when you're like sitting down. That's what I went through the first 10 days. And because before those 300 miles, I never ran like that ever in my life. The most I ever ran was, 4 miles with the running group. You know what I mean? So I wasn't even with the 6 mile group yet. Back then. Sorry, guy. Like I said, I wore the wrong shirt for this live. I'm learning as I go, and so that's what happened those first 10 miles. And then what happened after that? I got chafing. So pretty much that's when like your underwear kind of scrapes your inner thighs. Like I said, I was really overweight, so my underwear was just like pressing against. So every time I would finish 10 miles, um, I would just come back home and like from my inner thighs all the way to like my ankles, it would be bloody, and I would notice it because when I got in the shower, you just all the blood would start flowing down once I started showering and stuff like that. So that was pretty bad. And then the last 10 miles, it was I got really sick, so I started getting really sick. I had a flu and stuff like that. It was just a horrible time. You know what I mean? Those first 300 miles I did last year, and then throughout the but one thing that it did do, when I started that journey, I was at 280 pounds, and then when I finished that first 300 miles, I believe I went down to 250 or 255. So I lost like for sure the least I lost 25 pounds for sure when I did those 300 miles. And then at the time I was not eating healthy at all. So it's funny. I was thinking about it yesterday. When I did the first 300 miles, I lived off of Popeyes and McDonald's pretty much. The reason I did that was because I had like DoorDash pass, so I would get it was 16 wings from Popeyes for like $8, and it was DoorDash because they have the promotion and the DoorDash pass or whatever. So I would get 18 wings for the day pretty much, and that's what I lived off of for that period of time. And then also to McDonald's, just because McDonald's was a little bit cheaper last year. Now it's way different, right? So yeah, man. So that's pretty much what happened. And then also to let me see. I hope that the audio's good on this thing. Yo, chat. Let me know if the audio's good. But yeah. So when I did those when I was in that first period of doing those 300 miles, my diet was not good whatsoever, but it helped me with the calories. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. When you're about to go do like miles like that, you need to have some fat in you, some calories in you. A lot of people won't agree that it's like the good kind, I guess you could say, but it helped me a lot. You know what I mean? It helped me get through the day, and completing 10 miles every single day, and just to be like clear, I don't walk like any of the 10 miles. I don't like break them down. So, for example, I don't do like 2 miles in the morning, 3 miles in the afternoon. No, it's just like we're going for the next 2 hours to go knock these out. And the only time I guess when I do break them up is when I'm with the running group. Shout out to Downtown Running. If you guys don't know Downtown Running, they meet up Tuesdays and Thursdays, and at the block in downtown LA. So go ahead, check them out. But yeah, so whenever I run with them, that's when I would break down. That's how I kind of break down the 10 miles. So I do like maybe 3 miles, 4 miles before running with them. Then I do the 6 miles with them, and then whatever's left over, I kind of do a little cool down. But besides those days, I just go run the 10 miles straight. You know what I mean? So I dedicate like 2 hours throughout the period of the day to do that. I think there's a plane passing by, but yeah. So pretty much that is kind of how I do the 10 miles, just straight up like that. That was before, and then so now for the people tuning in, I was pretty much talking about how In the beginning of last year, when I was 280 pounds, I did 300 miles as well. But that one, like I said, my the overweight that the weight that I was at, it was like it made it more difficult because I had to carry all that weight and all those miles. So it caused a lot of physical pain and stuff like that. But this one, so now let me talk about the experience of these 300 miles. And by the way, people are tuning in. We're also filming for Everything Podcast. If you guys don't know, I have a YouTube channel called Everything Podcast, which I'm working on creating content for that page, which I'm filming right now as well as I'm doing the live. So just to get people that are tuning in right now. Yeah, so let me talk about a little bit of the 300 miles. Hold on, let me put this up. Yeah, so pretty much the 300 miles that I did this year and the last 30 days, man, this experience was awesome. I think it was awesome just because I didn't have that overweight, that weight on me like I did last year. The only thing that I will say about this year, it was harder in the sense of like I wasn't in a messed up position like I was last year. So last year I was pretty much in a very bad position. And by the way, I'm gonna be very vulnerable on these live streams, on these videos. You guys are gonna get to know me a little bit more, and just like a lot of my personal story. You know what I mean? I'm a runner of practice, not of theory. So I'll never tell you guys like, oh, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? I learn a lot from people that are like that, which is they read books or they, read articles or, they just educate themselves a lot. And like I said, I learn from a lot of people like that. But I'm someone that will never, tell you guys how to run or how to lose weight if I haven't done it. I'm only going to tell you what has worked for me, what has helped me lose the weight and just stay in that discipline, like I said, of running 10 miles every single day. If you guys don't know what 10 miles is, it's pretty much, I don't know, from downtown LA to up here to South Central. That's the best way I could describe it. Back and forth. You know what I mean? It's 5 miles going down, 5 miles coming back up. Where I live, it's like the perfect 5 miles down, perfect 5 miles up. So that was 10 every single day. And like I was saying, I'll never, tell you guys what to do or how to do things if I didn't go through it. So I'll only, speak of my personal experience. And so yeah, these 300 miles that passed, I was in a better place when it comes to like family wise, a little bit like personal, just the personal side of life, I guess you could call it. Even like business, you know what I mean? Right now I'm in the process of getting my business back up, which is Alto 213. Shout out to Alto 213. If you guys are into sneakers, go ahead and check out our Instagram page and YouTube channel as well. And yeah, so just that position of getting things back on track. Myself, personal finances, business finances. So believe it or not, I'm in a better position right now than I was last year, which made it a little bit, believe it or not, it made it a little bit harder to do these 300 miles just because of that. Because last year, bro, like I'm saying, sometimes I do wish I started this whole podcast thing when I was like really big, and maybe you could have seen the progress. But one thing that's unfortunate, but it's just the reality of the world, is like no one really cares about the journey. It's until you get the result. You know what I mean? Like right now, I just got an interview for KTLA 5 for the LA Marathon. I got sponsored to run the marathon by Downtown Running, so they paid my, ticket and all that stuff. Did the interview for KTLA 5, which that interview should be out in March 15, which is the day of the marathon. It's going to be airing on TV, and also too, they say that they're going to put it on the TVs or the displays throughout the entire marathon. That's the email I received. Okay, just leave it clear out there. So you know what I mean. So things are a little bit better, not a little bit, way more better than last year. And then, like I said, last year dude, I was in such a messed up position that it gave that fuel, or it made it not motivation, because it wasn't motivation. It was just a fucked up time. Simple as that. It was a fucked up time where everything was going south for me. And it was like that. It's like life was so cooked, like that meme, that life was so cooked, all you could do is run or do cardio, and that's literally what I did. And and the reason I did it too wasn't because, and even this year's as well, these 300 miles as well, it wasn't because I wanted to get, thinner, in shape. It's kind of, people were like, what the hell, what do you mean? But yeah, man, I don't do it for that. I do it for my mental health, just because I'm always thinking of stuff, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you viewers know exactly what I'm talking about. Or even when you're just like chilling at home, or even when you're around friends or around any environment, even at work, you're just thinking of the next move. You're just thinking of like, what can I do better? How can I be better and stuff like that? And yeah, man, that's pretty much how I think, and it could get to you. You know what I mean? Everybody that thinks like that knows what I'm talking about when it could get to you. So the running helps me not be so in my head. Like the best way I could describe it, every time I go do like 10 miles, I could equivalent to like, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 months of what you would call therapy, of talking to somebody. Because when you're out there, when I run, I don't run with headphones. I just kind of put like music blaring on my phone, and I just start running, man. For last year, when I was 280 pounds, it would be 2 hours and like maybe 10 minutes, my average run. You know what I mean? Now, which is crazy to say, it's like an hour and like 35, hour 45. You know what I mean? So that period of time, you're going through a pain that is intense. You're going through a pain that it's not a lot of people can handle it, and it makes you think while you're doing that, and that's why I do it, man. Because it's like every time I go run and I have a problem, when I finish the 10 miles, I'll find a solution somehow, or be a step closer to finding a solution to that problem, if it makes sense. Or if it's an ongoing problem, pain, or whatever you're going through mentally, when I run, that it helps me on that aspect. So that is why it is important, just in general, just to go run. And I'm not telling you to go run 10 miles to feel that, or to, you know what I mean, to think like that, or to start thinking or getting through whatever you're getting through. I'm not telling you to go do 10 miles. I'm not. I'm just saying, for me, running helps me in that sense. You know what I mean? To clear my head, and for it to help me get through whatever I'm going through, if that makes sense. But yeah, anybody got keep yeah, man. So yeah, so kind of getting into the 300 miles with this body that you see now, this mammoth of a man, this lion that you see in front of you. How was it running 300 miles in this condition compared to the 280 pounds? It is easier physically, but like I said earlier, it was harder because I wasn't going through like that too messed up of a thing. Meaning, like, so like I said, I'm gonna be just transparent with you guys. The first time I did it, I had no connection, or contact with family. I only had contact with my sister. So it was harder in that sense of last year. The road was so lonely. Yes, you have friends. Yes, you have the running group and all that stuff, which is, I couldn't have done it without them. My friends, the running group. Obviously, they're my friends, but I'm trying to say, I hope you know what I'm saying. But just that whole connection of family wasn't there compared to this year. Now, now I have my pops around and stuff like that, and just the whole family here. And it's crazy to think about it like that. Before last year, when I finished 10 miles, for the day, I would just come home to an empty loft. You know what I mean? It was a big square footage. I was by myself. Just got out of a relationship at the time. So it was just a lonely time. And then now, thinking about it now, it's like I come back home from a 10-mile run. Obviously you still have those problems in your head, but you come back and you have people around you that are like, in the beginning they might be like, oh, what the hell, you just want to go run, but then they start to see the discipline about it. And I guess that's what I kind of want to talk to people about too, or encourage them that when you're gonna go run, in the beginning, mostly if you have like fucked up people around you, you know what I mean, like toxic people around you, that just anything you want to do, they have something negative to say about it. You know what I mean? Like there's people around, and I get it. Sometimes it's even your own family. It could be your own parent. It could be your own sibling. It could be your own cousin or whatever. You know what I mean? And I understand that. But one thing you have to understand is too that this is for you. A lot of people ask me like, why do you run so much? Like why did you do these 300 miles? Well, it's because the point was me. The point was me. The point was to get my shit together and not do it for anybody else. Just for and whoever's watching this, I hope you get some sort of, I guess, motivation. Or I don't even like to use the word motivation just cuz that word is just like vaguely thrown, that has no meaning sometimes. And yeah, man, so you have to understand that this is for you, and that's how I got into running in general. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where at the time, sure, like in the surface, things looked like I was okay, meaning that I had, a store at the block, which is a mall where literally I meet with the downtown running group. I had my business in there. Shout out to Diego, he's my brother that helped me do that and all that, and everybody else that helped me. Shout out to everybody that helped me do that as well. And at the time I was with somebody. At the time I had like X, Y, and Z. I had all of this, cash flow or whatever. So in the surface, it seems like it's all good. But, I have photos of myself and videos of myself. The physical size I was not okay. And there's no body shaming here when it comes to like my content. A lot of people might think that I'm body shaming or I'm being fat phobic, but I mean, hey man, when you have somebody in front of you that was 300 pounds is telling you, hey man, there's something to change here. I think it's you have to be so ignorant, or you gotta just, or shit, man. Sometimes you're just that depressed in the weight that you just don't want to hear it, and that was me too. Don't get it twisted. I remember there was a period when I had, like I said, I had the stores and stuff like that. It was like maybe 2 to 3. Nah, I got in a motorcycle accident in the beginning of 2023. So all of 2023, I was gaining the weight, and or was it 2022, 2022, something like that, and I was gaining the weight fast, and I just got out of a motorcycle accident. So my right leg got pretty much split open with the impact of a car T-boning me. Luckily, I didn't go down because I tried to swerve I swerved the bike enough to kind of delay or try to evade the car that hit me, but the car was able to hit me on the right. So my right leg was open. I couldn't move the right leg for maybe about like a month or two. And yeah, so throughout that period, that's when I started gaining weight. And then business shit went south. So it was just a lot of things piling up against me. And that's when the gaining the weight was the most I ever did. You know what I mean? Like that's when I reached like 310, I think. The best way I could describe it is like a 3X shirt. And so when I was going through that, once we got the store at the block, that's when, like I said, shout out to my brother Diego. Diego started noticing that there's a running group that meets there Tuesdays and Thursdays. And he was like, yo, man, let's go run with these guys. And like I said, I was maybe nah, man, like 5 months in the block, or 4 months, 5 months, where he was telling me, let's go run with these guys. Let's go put in, and I would say, no, I don't want to go do that. I don't want to know anything about running, because I was that overweight. I was that, like, I said it in the last live or the last video I made. I said, pretty much, it's that when you're overweight at a certain, and I'm not talking like, obviously there's a lot of people that are way thinner than me naturally, and you guys gain 40 to 50 pounds, and that's a lot for you guys. But someone like me, I would gain like almost hundreds of pounds over what I'm supposed to be at. So so if you don't have that, you have a huge advantage over me, you know over this story, I guess you could call it. And so we're at the block. Diego's telling me, yo, let's join these guys, let's go run. And I would tell him, you could, you know what I mean? You could fuck right off. I'm not gonna go do that. And I'm not even saying these things to like motivate you or give you that like false hope. No, man. You have to put in the work. So yeah, man, that's pretty much the story of like how when I started running, I didn't want to run. I didn't want to know anything about it. And you know what I mean? Like I was so overweight that I knew for the next 8 months, 9 months that I'm gonna start running, or even consider eating healthy. I'm gonna see no results. It was that reality of it. That's how much weight was over me, literally. You know what I mean? And it was frustrating. It was very frustrating. But those are the times, man, where things can shift in someone's life, and then it happened to me. It happened to me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that it did, because like I said, I did those 300 miles, and the reason and one of the biggest reasons that I'm able to do that, guys, is because of God. God gave me the strength to do it. I 100% believe that. Because of Jesus and stuff like that. Yes, I made a pact pretty much with God, saying, "Yo, help me do these 300 miles, and when the time comes, like when we're talking about running, I'm always gonna mention them." So this is me putting my into the bargain of that deal. And think about it, man. 10 miles every single day. 10 miles every single day, nonstop, guys. There's no breaks, meaning that, we run Monday through Friday and then Saturday we take a no. We run 10 miles every day for 30 days straight. Like an animal, like a beast. You know what I mean? Like a freaking. If we were. Nah, I was going to say. I always say this story to people. I said it to one of our runners, Sam. He's an older gentleman and stuff. and I told him, I'm pretty much like, if we were in the ancient times, Sam, if we were in the times of the Mayans, I would be the one you would send to get our enemies' heads. And I will bring you the enemy's heads as a token of respect to you for our elder in our village. And that's pretty much what I tell him. And he just starts to fucking laugh. He has an awesome sense of humor. I love Sam. And like I said, people tuning in, join us in running. And I'm gonna talk about something about the running group that I was thinking about last night. So pretty much, I see a lot of people when they start to run. The mistake that people can make when they start to run, and like I said, this is somebody that runs, a lot. But even when I started running, or getting back to running, let me backtrack a year and a half ago. I didn't do the mistake, which is when people want to start running, they just throw themselves out too much. Meaning, like, they shift from right to left almost overnight. They try to do it overnight. And some people do it. But that only lasts for people like maybe 2 to 3 months. So what I mean by that is, people that haven't been running, or that are just like, maybe they're like casually running or going to the gym, they immediately change everything in the sense of like their diet. They start planning out a whole run to put maybe even 30 miles a week. And that alone is a big way that I've seen people lead to their downfall, because you're putting so much pressure already on yourself. That is like, the way I see it is like, how are you going to go from running nothing to running, like I said, 30, miles a week? And you're putting this annoying discipline of your diet, and maybe you're even putting like all this other, I don't know, it's just like you're taking on too much. And I've seen it happen a lot, where people start running, and that alone is their downfall later on, because they start running and they just put themselves in a position where they just kind of lead themselves to failure, because it's too much. You're doing too much to yourself. And this is coming from a guy, like I said, I'm running 300 miles a month. And when I started, I wasn't run. I was running 2 miles Tuesdays and Thursdays. 2 miles Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the only reason, and I would even tell Diego would get mad at me, because he would say, "Hey man, let's run on our own. Let's run." I'll be like, "Man, no. I'm barely running right now with this running group, because one, you're doing it, and then the other one, because they're literally in front of my store, and if I don't go with them, I'm gonna feel really bad." Not because I'm not running with them, but for me, like, damn, man, you have a running group in front of you, you're not even gonna go. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things. And yeah, so that's one thing I've noticed a lot of people do. They make the mistake when they want to start running, or they want to start doing their fitness journey. You take too much on, and it's no, man. It's like take it easy, bro. Take it easy. It's like when you're talking to a girl and type thing. Take it easy, bro. Like don't go in so hard, because you're gonna burn yourself out. And I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've seen it so many times. There's a lot of great people that I've met, and then they don't come the next month. Next, it's 2 months, 3 months, and next thing you know, you never see them again. But when I met them, they were so motivated. Motivated. That's the word, right? They were so motivated. They were so determined on like, oh, I'm gonna lose this weight. I'm gonna do this and that. Nah, man. If you honestly like, I might even make a packet, right? or like a join Mario's weight loss journey, and this is what you're gonna do. And then my biggest thing is gonna say, change nothing of your diet. That literally like that. Change nothing of your diet. You want to go keep going eating out, go eat out. You want to keep eating. I eat Chinese food every day almost. But the reason I do that is because I don't want people, and it has to come out from you, where you want to genuinely lose weight or get into shape. You know what I mean? For me, in the beginning, it started off as just like any other person. When they want to lose weight, you run to lose weight. Hold on, let me put this thing in charge. Ah, damn it! It's for the YouTube camera. Can't even reach. Hold on. I don't even know if it could reach. Cool. So yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Something about some bullshit about losing weight. Yeah, man. Like I said before, and I'm not talking to only the person that is 300 pounds, 200 over 200 pounds. I've met a lot of people that, in my eyes, coming from someone that was that size, they're like, "Hey, you're pretty thin," but they tell me like, "Yo, no, man, I used to be thinner. I gained 40 to 50 pounds more." So if you're in that position, then dude, you have such a huge advantage. You just got to run maybe like the next 3 to 4 months, and then you're straight. But I don't represent those people. I represent the guy, and also to the ladies that are watching. I represent the people that know what it is to have a lot of weight over them and know what it is to, like, I'm telling you, that mental battle where you could put yourself in a position for the next 8 months, 7 months, and get nowhere with your journey. That's what happened to me. You know what I mean? I was and you guys go, like I said, I invite you so much to downtown running. Ask anybody there. The beginning of the first 8 months, 5 months that I went, whatever it was, I was running with them, and then I started kind of running on my own. I was playing soccer too, so that helped out too. But there was a moment in a period of time where I was still the same weight, the same size. Sure, I had to do a lot with my diet, but the whole diet part, it kind of contradicts itself because when I started to increase my intensity of working out, that vanished. You know what I mean? That, like, right now, you could ask me what do I want to eat for lunch today, before I go run 10 miles. I could go for a burger, or Chinese food. Like I said, I love Chinese food, so I could go eat a big plate of fat, greasy, ghetto Chinese food. You know what I mean? People know what I mean when I say ghetto Chinese food. Those ghetto places that serve the best Chinese food, that will give you a week, 2 days worth of food, and I eat it in one serving before I go for a 10-mile run. You know what I mean? So, but before getting to that, like I said, the average person that is overweight know that the next 8 months to 9 months that we're about to run, we're gonna see no results. So if you're somebody that's watching this and you're thinking about starting your weight loss or starting your running journey, two things. One, like I said before, don't overdo it. The reason that we call this live stream or this YouTube video, like I said before, people that are just tuning in on the live, I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. We also have everything podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. And then also too, I'm gonna be joining and jumping on the live stream here and stuff like that. So yeah, man, two things. Don't overdo it. Don't have a huge, like, complicated plan on how you're gonna lose this weight. Because the way I see it is like, man, you haven't ran for a minute, or maybe you've ran a little bit. You know what I mean? And now you want to put all this stuff on you. You're just gonna burn yourself out without even starting. Some people see the plan of the running part of it or the workout part of it, and then they see the plan of, like, their diet coming up, and that alone, for me that always turned me off on the whole running thing, or working out when I was big. I would be like, you want me to do what? You want me to eat what? And to do this for the next 8 to a year and maybe see a result? Fuck that. I am not doing that. And that's literally what people think. And like I said, I'm not an elite runner. So I don't speak like that and I don't think like that. I still think like the guy that's like 300 pounds. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. If you're going to get started. And then the other one, do it for your mental health. Do it for yourself. That's one thing that separated everything from me. When I was just starting the journey, sorry, the fan, I'm trying to, probably, dang, we already have 40 minutes in this podcast or live stream, which is awesome. I was very nervous on jumping on, you know what I mean? But I got to do it to get better. And even this alone is one of those things where I have to do it to get better. And leading back to what I was saying is, the other part is, once you start separating, I'm working out or I'm running for the physical part, and you start working out for your mental health. And what do I mean by mental health? I don't mean by like, oh, every single morning I wake up, I'm gonna start seeing the sun with more sunshine and more rays on it, or that I'm gonna start seeing the blue skies a little bit more bluer. No, 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 no. You're still gonna fucking hate life. Oh, that's a guarantee. You might even hate it a little bit more in the beginning when you start this journey. But what will change is, and it happened to me yesterday at night when I was working. I work overnight. So in the day, I dedicated to my business, and then 2 hours after working 5 hours on my business or media, I dedicated to running. And then after that, I have to go to my night job. And then yesterday, when I was at my night job, I was so tired. I was so tired. I just completed 300 miles. So, I wanted to give up yesterday at work. But the way I think when I run 10 miles kicked in. The same way that I think about things when I'm running kicked in. And then that helped me in my job. That helped me, that helps me with my business. That helps me with my personal life or whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much what today's message is of these 300 miles, which is the reason I did it was because it was for my mental health, for to get my shit together, for my mentality, the way I think on things. It was really that. And like I said, once you start separating the whole I'm gonna run for my physical to like I want to run because I want to get my mental state better, that's when you're gonna have a huge difference on on your workout or whatever. And like I said, man, I'm not an elite runner. I might run like one, you know what I mean? Apparently 300 miles in a month. I've been told by a lot of my elite runner friends who those people are like, you know what I mean? They put in miles, and who I still think are way superior than me. Oh, I haven't even touched their heels in running. You know what I mean? They tell me that